1515 now proudly brings you the GTS podcast, guys talking smack. The podcast where we talk about whether SmackDown was a smack up, SmackDown, or smack in the face. This is your boy J the King.
It's your guy J.Fields.
And SmackDown Live took place this weekend.
Richmond, Virginia.
I have nothing.
Me neither.
Nope, nothing. Okay. Moving on. Chris Brown, Neo, Timberland.
Sure, we'll take it.
Pharrell. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Good deal. See, something came along. Yeah.
Music wise.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get down with the rundown and everything else, J.Fields, do you have a match to watch for?
I do. This match was RBU's match to watch for last week, but I just got a chance to check it out. This match is from the G1 Climax, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Shout out to Iz Miller. We're going to get New Japan, Progress, Revolution Pro, Ring of Honor. We're going to get the indies over. We're going to get these other promotions over as much as we can doing these segments. But it was Kota Ibushi versus Tetsuya Naito. And just a really good match. Damn good match. Like, if you remember Kota Ibushi from the Cruiserweight Classic, like, you know he's capable of some really good matches. Cedric Alexander, Johnny Gargano, you know what I'm saying? Capable of some really good matches. And this match was no different. Kota Ibushi is really, he's an emotional type in the ring. You can see how he sells really hard. And it just seemed like everything he does, it just means something. Him versus Naito is like the complete opposites of each other, because Naito is a complete asshole. Like, he's just an asshole. He doesn't get that aggressive look in his face. He doesn't get that, you know what I'm saying? He's not the yelling type. He's just a really cocky, arrogant asshole. Like, I just don't give a damn. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like they really balance each other out in the match. And Ibushi will kick the shit out of you. Like, some of those kicks, I'm talking about, he was just laying kick after kick. Like, Naito was on the ropes, and he literally was just laying thrust kick after thrust kick into, like, Naito's chest. And I'm like, oh, my God, every time. It didn't even like he was putting a lot of force behind him. Mm-hmm. But they was just saying, like, flow, flow, flow. I'm like, oh, my God. But he hit a second rope power driver. Ibushi hit a second rope power driver on Naito from the second rope. Like, sick. Like, the spots in the match, just really good. Like, and Naito really worked on, like, Ibushi's neck for the majority of the match, because if you know anything about Kota Ibushi in the last couple of years, he's had some neck injuries and things like that. So they really played that up in the match. Like, he hit a neck break on the apron. Naito hit a neck break on the apron with like both of them standing on the apron, and he hit a reverse neck breaker on the apron, jumped off the apron, and Ibushi's head bounced off the apron. Like, sick. Ouch. So like, just really damn good, just damn good match. I've been catching up on the G1. I checked out Kenny Omega versus Tama Tonga as well. Bullet Club, and that was a really good match too. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That one. But like the G1, like if you feel like you lacking right now in pro wrestling, download the Daily Motion app and just start typing in some of the matches from the G1. Kenny Omega versus whoever, Sonata versus whoever, Ibushi, Naito versus whoever. Like, you're gonna get some really good matches. They're about 7 days in now, so about a weekend with the G1, and it's still a long ways to go. So it's just been really good to watch these folks tear the house down night after night. Zack Sabre Jr., he's in it as well. Michael Elgin, Evil, some different names you may be familiar with. So like, definitely, like, Daily Motion. You can catch up on all your G1 if you don't have the New Japan World app, or you don't subscribe to New Japan. It's an easy way to see what's going on without having to sit through the 2-hour, 3-hour whole full shows with some of the undercard matches with New Japan. You can just get to the good stuff a lot faster.
Okay.
So,
well, then that match to watch for will be in the description below of the podcast page. I'm going to try to keep doing that every week. So if you want to see Iz Miller's or possibly J.Fields' match to watch for every week, just look in the link in the description below on the 1515 app page, and possibly on the GTS podcast page on Facebook.
Good deal.
All right, moving on to news and rumors. Got to talk about your girl Paige, man.
What's going on?
It's an arrest warrant out. Arrest warrant out for her now. You know, for that domestic dispute they had a couple weeks back
at the airport.
Yeah. You know, she came forward to say it's her fault and everything and blah blah blah. So I don't know how that goes.
Can't be acting fool at the airport.
But WWE is more than likely going to suspend her. But if she's convicted, they're going to fire her. Fire her.
Wow.
And that'll free them up from having to pay her. Because, she violated a policy, within her contract. So, but I'm about to write her off, man. I think it's a wrap. Like I'm not trying to give up on somebody, but like that person you hope to get their mind back together and get back that spark they once had. It's just faster. Like their lights getting dimmer and dimmer. That match about to go out on me, man.
Yeah.
She just keep putting herself in a situation. And did you see that picture?
I didn't.
She posts she was with Del Rio at some wedding or whatever, and like, dude, she looked like a skeleton. Like it don't look good. I don't know what's going on.
I hadn't been keeping track of Paige. I've been kind of on the outs. I hadn't seen a lot.
Yeah, it's just like, you remember how she used to look like? She had some meat on her, you know what I'm saying? Beautiful. And now it's just like, man, what? Like, she needs help, and maybe in the ring is not where she needs to be right now. That shouldn't be her focus point. She needs to get help right now. But like, I'm just curious to see, WWE really backing up this movie The Rock doing about her. So I mean, like, just putting them in a tough position too, because like if they fire her, they still gonna have to promote the movie because The Rock,
Yeah, he invested a lot of money. That's his first directing. That's like his directional debut, I believe.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is crazy, man. But and then like I said, it took place in the WWE. Like they shot something during the crowd, with the crowd and everything. So like, I don't know, man. It's looking messy. That's all I got.
You just hate to see a person just kind of spiral out of control like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Young, man.
Yeah, like and I guess when you're in your early 20s like that, we've been there. In our early 20s, we had those sowing those wild oats, and just not living a carefree life, not really worried about how this is gonna represent me. 10 years later, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's a case of too much too soon. I mean, like you over like you're over. 21 years old, youngest WWE Women's Champion. You know what I'm saying? NXT champion, youngest WWE champion. I mean, like, she got a lot early.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And some people just not prepared to, some people gonna crumble under that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a shame to know that, that the person that she's with is not necessarily good for her. And not helping the situation, because like Del Rio's shit fucking 40 or close to it. You know what I'm saying? You would think that he would be more level-headed, more mature, but he's just as out of control at the age that he is than, Paige is at the age that she is. So it's like they're two people that are not good for each other.
Right.
Because they're not, neither one of them they don't balance each other out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's no balance. You know what I'm saying? That's a shame to hear about. I didn't know about that.
Yeah. I mean, I just read about that today. But I mean, I've been hearing about the arrest warrant, but I dug a little deeper into the story a little bit while I was researching today. And I know, any kind of DUI or anything, or you convicted of anything, WWE, they pretty much gonna wipe their hands with you, like, hey, suspension. But like, if she actually charges the press or whatever, and she's convicted for that, like, yeah, it's a done deal for WWE.
And plus, she's already had wellness violations,
right?
Anyway, so I mean, if anything else, I mean, you got to think about it. You remember there was a point in time where people thought like, damn, Randy Orton was on his way out the door,
right?
9 toes out the door for him, because he was getting, tearing up hotel rooms, weed, everything. He was just involved in a whole bunch of stuff there early on when they were trying to put him in position, and he had to clean himself up. You know what I'm saying? Get himself back in order. So I mean, it's the same thing, but like with her being so young, it's like, the good thing I guess you can say with her being so young is the fact that she can rebound, because she's got a lot of life ahead, that she can eventually get it together and make a comeback later on and, be bigger than ever. I mean, you think about it. I mean, even people like Sky Hall, Jake the Snake have been able to get themselves together long enough to come back and reconcile. So, I mean, like,
first step,
she's got a lot of room.
First step, she needs to get away from Del Rio.
Yeah.
Point blank. Especially if you have a domestic dispute and in front of cameras and people recording you. Yeah, like that's already toxic right there. Like, walk away.
And I read a report. I can't confirm this, but I was reading one piece of wrestling news, and it said something along the lines of like Del Rio is suspended by Global Force.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Miller and them reported about that. I think either not last week, but like the week before. But like, yeah, they suspended him.
That's crazy.
And wasn't he champion?
He's a champ. I hadn't watched Go before in a couple weeks, maybe a month or so. I just, I hadn't been, like I said, I've kind of been all over the place. A lot of stuff going on, between vacation, coming back, school's going to start back, stuff like that. So I hadn't really just been up on my wrestling news. So like a lot of times, like between RBU and what you give on the GTS, that's normally my way of getting caught up with what's going on in the wrestling world if it just doesn't come across my line.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I just caught that a few minutes ago that Del Rio was suspended. I was like, I didn't even know that myself.
Yeah. I mean, it's just they got a lot of time. The fact that he's not in the ring busy.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a lot of time to get in trouble. And like,
right.
It's just bad news.
That's no good at all.
Moving to some good news.
Okay.
Let's try to get a little positive.
Okay.
Positivity. Good segue.
Right.
Congrats to our fellow SmackDown Tag Team Champion, Kofi Kingston, for hitting the milestone, the first wrestler ever to win the WWE title, WWE Tag titles, the World Tag titles from WCW, the Raw Tag titles, and the SmackDown titles. First ever.
Talk about a tag team special.
Yes, man. I mean, I think you got one with he didn't get one with CM Punk.
He did.
Yeah, CM Punk,
Evan
Bourne, R-Truth.
Yep.
And New Day.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, like decorated tag team wrestling, man. But we both got hope. Like he elevated.
He elevate. I mean, Jinder. To remember, people, Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was never billed as like, oh my God, Jinder Mahal, like the next best thing.
He didn't
have Kofi Kingston's been good from the time he showed up with the the Jamaican colors and the boom 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 and the Sean Kingston themes on all this stuff like that. Kingston. I mean, like he's been billed as a talent since day one, and for the fact that he's been there, hasn't been anywhere else, never left. I mean, like
haven't got any trouble.
Hasn't had any trouble. You know what I'm saying? Rarely injured. You know what I'm saying?
Man, Reward's your superstar.
Yeah.
Man, like God damn, like you took just like you said, you took a chance on Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
Take a chance on Kofi.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, congrats on him. And our last and final news. Have you heard who our new writer is for SmackDown?
Oh yes, I have. I did hear that, and I knew that for a while. I actually.
I mean, I just read that he's been writing for us for a while, which not gonna put complete blame on him, but it kind of makes a lot of sense with what the direction of SmackDown has been going lately. But yeah, and then I guess it's been a hashtag Fire Road Dogg on Twitter, and he replied to some of the fans and said, I got 2 words for you fans or whoever, but it ain't Fire Road Dogg.
Yeah.
I'm like,
maybe he made Road Dogg 1 word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Help him.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, I mean, going into the show, I mean, it explains a lot. I didn't find it out but actually, on RBU this week, Miller and Sterl talked about, Road Dogg being one of the writers because the NXT writer was formerly on not on Xbox. What I'm talking about. On NXT,
right.
He came to SmackDown. Now he's on Raw, which hence is why Raw, not all the time, but like
you can see them fixing it.
Yeah,
you can see the change. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's a little sour great moment right there. But any thoughts on that?
Oh yeah. Well, I've been like I listened to RBU earlier today myself, and it was funny because I wanted to chime in on that. And so you give me an opportunity to chime in on that. But let's preface it with this. You got to think about it. Brian James is cut from the same cloth. He's cut from the southern Tennessee, Kentucky, Mid-South territory days. He's in the same vein of people with like your Jerry Lawlers, your Jeff Jarrett's. You think about Jeff Jarrett, and that should really just sell it right there in itself because Jeff Jarrett, Brian James, they're right around the same age. They started together. You know what I'm saying? They're 2nd generation, 3rd generation talents. And you look at the way Jeff Jarrett books versus the way that SmackDown has been booked in the last, however long. And it should kind of identify because you almost can pinpoint the moment when SmackDown just wasn't as good anymore. Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on here? Because we touted that show July 18th last year, it's like, okay, this is the start of something. And every week they were knocking it out of the park.
Yep.
It was the A show.
It was supposed to be the B show, but they kept on overextending.
It was put in position to be the A show. You had Dean, you had AJ, you had Cena, you had Miz, you had American Alpha, you had the Wyatt family with Orton, Luke Harper. You had the whole thing working together, everybody working together to produce a really good show. And now it's become stagnant again.
Yep.
With a couple hits or misses, you have one good thing going, and then it kind of dies away. So I mean, Brian James is just like Jared. I mean, like, and the crazy part about it is it's crazy I'm saying it because I mean, you know how much of a mark I am for Memphis wrestling because that's what we grew up on. You know what I'm saying? Saturday morning wrestling. And Jerry Lawler and Jeff Jarrett, all those guys, I always want to see them succeed, do great things in the business. But it's evident that their minds have not evolved to where we are today.
It ain't very creative.
It's not very creative.
It's a good wrestling mind, but like it's not entertaining, creative. Like I see what you're talking about.
It's like, and the thing about it is, I mean, you know, Jerry Lawler ran the territory down here in Memphis for, you know, the better part of 25, 30 years. So he was on top for 25, 30 years in Memphis. I mean, like, that was their go-to. No matter who came to town, no matter who they brought in, you had to take the L to Lawler. You know what I'm saying? You were going to be put in there with Lawler. Lawler was going to get in the ring, do what Lawler does, and that was going to be that. You know what I'm saying? It's similar to that now because you look at it. When Jared got his own promotion, TNA, he ran the top. He was NWA champion, TNA world champion. He stayed at the top. And everybody that came into the company had to go through Jared to get to the top. You know what I'm saying? And that same line of booking, even though Road Dogg is not in the ring or booking himself at the top, it just shows that traditional style of booking is just bled into him. I mean, he worked at TNA. He was on the creative at TNA when he was there. You know, him and Conan and Kip James or Billy Gunn, we know him as. I mean, when they were there, I mean, he helped out with creative. You know what I'm saying? And then he came back to WWE, and that's what he's been doing. But when you move into that power position, that's what you're missing. I mean, like, I'm not gonna say I want Russo back. I'm not gonna say I want Bischoff, but I mean, like, we need somebody either new, somebody fresh, somebody to step in to at least just counter some of the tradition that they're bringing, that they're trying to infuse today with.
It's just the fact that, like, I mean, I haven't said this in a long time. Long time. So sorry, Sarah. But once again, it goes back to catering to Raw. Yeah. Because we was cool. Yeah. Everything was going good where we was at, but shit wasn't going good on Raw. Right. So it's the fact that, like, let's take what's going on. Let's take the core from SmackDown and move over to Raw. See, can we get the same kind of buzz they got down there? And, like, you heard in your other show. Yeah. Instead of trying to help, I mean, keep one show maintained and try to get that show to get better. Right. You gutted out another show to make just the opposite show better. And not saying, like I said, not every week SmackDown has been horrible or just bad, but, like, it's a big difference from what we started off with, just like you said a year ago. Like, when this show kicked off, we barely had a bad thing to say. Right. You know, the worst thing we could say is what they were doing with Cena. We didn't like Cena's role when it first kicked off. You know what I'm saying? But we liked Orton and where Orton was going. We liked Bray and what they were doing with Bray. We loved AJ and everything AJ was touching, everything he did. We liked what was going on in the women's division. Hell, Becky Lynch finally was able to overcome. I mean, like, just a lot of good things happening. With it. But if you look at the list, just look at the storylines that we've had the last two pay-per-views and look at how things are sort of kind of shaping up for SummerSlam, for SmackDown. Not excited. Not exciting. Not, you know what I'm saying, not like must-see. It's really bland and dry. And you just look at this last pay-per-view, which we're talking about that next, right? So, I mean, like, you just look at this last pay-per-view. I mean, I'll hold on what I'm going to say about it, but that should be case in point, evidence as to how fucked up SmackDown is right now. Yeah. Because Battleground was not good at all. And I'll pause there until we get through it. Yeah. But, I had to touch a nerve on that one about the Road Dogg thing. So when I read it, I'm like, it makes sense now. And like I said, before I even read it and wanted to report that, I think I wanted to report it, but, like, once Sterling Miller spoke on it, I said, let me dig a little deeper and see how much I can find out about this. And, like, found out, like I said, it's been almost, I think they switched staff, like, around, like, January. That's when they switched it out. Say, okay, let's get let's get the writer from SmackDown, move him on to Raw, and let's get Road Dogg. You go down to SmackDown and call the shots. It's not basically like he's creating it,
but
he's
the
fact,
top
one.
writer.
He's the one they come to and say we're gonna do this, and he's the one that make decisions like, yeah, let's go with that, or let's not go with that.
Yeah.
And the fact that the way the show is going is letting me know that, dude, you ain't a good decision maker.
So here's the reason that we end up with a crucible.
Possibly.
I mean, well, you gotta think about it. WrestleMania,
it was.
WrestleMania was in April, and if he took over in January, this thing became January, that's when the Wyatt family thing started to really kind of grind out, get on there. Elimination Chamber was really good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
And then right there at WrestleMania, it got ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And going into WrestleMania, he was like, okay, this could be something. And then from WrestleMania on to now, look where we've been.
It's been seesaw.
Yeah,
like.
And more down than up.
I agree.
You know,
we found a lot of positive out of it.
Yeah, we were nice, generous, I would say. A lot more generous than we're going to be today, though.
Yeah. But moving on.
Yeah.
To WWE Battleships.
Yeah.
Battleground, sorry. My bad.
Oh.
I mean, if you clicked on this podcast strictly hear about Battleground, you can be a little disappointed because I'm going to try to get through this. And but be as detailed as possible. But
highlight of the night. Let's just go there. Let's just go to the highlight of the night.
You want to just briefly go through the matches?
Oh yeah. Well, that was the opening.
Because we have to talk about we have to talk about
the kickoff. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah, we do.
So
we were like wrong on all of our just for the record.
I think we were too. Yeah. So kickoff match started off with Aiden English versus Ty Dillinger, and Aiden English won clean.
Clean victory.
Clean.
Mm-hmm.
So, shocking. I think, they kicked off the show with a bang because I didn't see that coming at all. It kind of threw me for a loop. Like, anything can happen tonight.
It wasn't a bad match. But just the fact that you're going to try to push two guys that need pushing can't get the push when they're losing to each other.
Yeah.
Nobody comes out of that stronger or weaker. They just come out the exact same.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if Aiden English needs the bump or he needs the rub or you want to get Ty Dillinger the push or the rub, having them trade victories with each other when both of them need to be trying to gain some momentum, not going to happen with each other. No, regardless of how great of a match they put on with each other. It's not going to get them any fanfare, any extra fanfare. They're going to be at the same spot they're in right now when all this concludes.
Like taking a big step forward and then jumping right back in that same step. Like you're right back where you started.
Exactly.
Anyway, moving on to the highlight of the entire night.
Highlight of the night.
The tag team match. The tag team titles between New Day and the Usos. What a match.
What a match.
I mean, dude.
Could have been the match to watch for.
Yeah.
Could have been the match to watch for. It was that good.
It was, man.
And the crazy part about it is that it really set me up to think like, oh shit, we're in for a hell of a night tonight.
Yeah, because that was the first official match of Battleground.
The way that match went, you thought that Battleground was finna tear the house down.
And when you think about it, the last couple of, the SmackDown pay-per-views haven't been bad. Like, they've been enjoyable. And this, we'll get to that, but like, just like you said, how it kicked off, like, all right, we getting things back to how it usually be. Spots, that Xavier eating that fucking Air Force One.
Yeah.
Like, he ate the whole soul of the shoe.
Yeah, that power bomb, that double power bomb on the floor.
Oh, yeah. They both caught.
Trust fall.
Yes, sir. They caught.
That was nasty.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
That was a crazy spot.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the match was everywhere, man.
Yeah.
I mean, which we will kind of fast forward, predict the future a little bit, which in SmackDown, it's not over.
Thank God. Thank God it's not over.
So, I mean, it just intrigues me more of what's going on at SummerSlam.
It's good. It's that good.
But, I mean.
They could do this all year long.
And like I said, I'm not talking, I knew this match was going to happen.
Yeah.
Once the match ended, the look on the Usos' face, I knew it wasn't over.
Right.
So, I'm already set up for SummerSlam. So, I'm looking forward to see what they can build. Because, like I said, they constantly knocking out apart. Promos, matches. I mean, every time.
And this is what tag team wrestling is supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be that variant from singles competition where you get a chance to see things, you get a chance to get the breakups and the near falls and the things like that. That's what tag team wrestling is supposed to do.
They kicked out
They kicked out of everything.
Yeah, knew they kicked out of the splash.
They kicked out of everything. The new Usos kicked out of everything except for that last elbow drop, that walk the rope elbow drop that Xavier hit. But they kicked out of the Midnight Hour. The finishing the finisher that they created. Xavier and Kofi that they created.
Up, down, down.
Yeah, the up. Yeah, that's what it is. The up, down, down. Yeah. So it was just like you thought at many moments it was over and it wasn't. You know, and it just kept going and kept going. And then you thought it was gonna be over again and it wasn't. And that's the type of tag team wrestling I like to see. That's the reason why I'm such a fan of the Young Bucks. That's why I'm such a fan. And this is
I'm gonna say it too.
Yeah, I'm such a fan of the Revival.
Fuck the Revival.
No, that's why I'm such a fan. No flips, just fists. That's why I'm such a fan. Hell, you can even throw Sheamus and Cesaro in there at this point.
Oh, I heard something about SummerSlam too, but I mean,
yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there at some point. But this is tag team wrestling. We already know the Usos can do it. I mean, you think back to their matches with, the Shield, or you think back to their matches with Harper and Rowan. I mean, like, we know that they can open up a pay-per-view and have you on the edge of your seat as soon as you get to the fucking arena. We know it.
Yeah.
You know that they're gonna go out and do exactly what you need them to do. So I mean, like, kudos. Yeah. It's a hell of a match.
And shout out to Xavier Woods. Once he pointed out that was his first time ever pinning in WWE to win the championship. Yeah. So because he always is on the other end.
Right.
Or
or either outside the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a big accomplishment for him and for Kofi Kingston, you know what I'm saying? Because we already spoke on Kofi.
And right, normally it's always Big E expected to come in and, hit the big ending or come in and clean house. And this match just played different.
Yeah, Once they started off, we saw that Big E was
like, wait a minute, Big E not in the match. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. And then you got two guys, we got four guys that's of similar size. You know what I'm saying? You don't have anybody really overpowering the next person. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, okay, this person got to come in and clean house with, just knocking everybody down, coming in, like a monster. You got four guys that's pretty much on the same, level with each other. You know what I'm saying? And really having to rely on their wrestling athleticism. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just coming in clothesline, belly flip. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against Big E. I love Big E. Don't get me wrong, but I mean,
it wasn't a power wrestling match, right? So you had to look for that, like you said, the cleanup. Coming in, clothesline, and everybody.
Because Xavier and Kofi both got an opportunity to kind of come in with the hot tag and kind of clean house. You know what I'm saying? In a different way.
I love that move, Xavier Woods, when he come from outside and he jump off the second rope and
catch hit the DDT. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
But shout out to that match.
I really just want to talk about that, but we have to.
I know. Well, we can, like I said, we can be brief on the other
we're gonna get back to the Usos and New Day anyway.
Next match we had the Fatal 5-Way between Lana, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Natalya, and Tamina.
Yeah.
And Natalya is your #1 contender for SummerSlam for Naomi's WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. Any thoughts on this match?
It wasn't a bad match. It wasn't great either.
It wasn't a good match. It wasn't a bad match. It was the match.
Yeah.
Not the bad. Yeah. I mean, not the match of the night though.
But it was a match.
It was a match.
It was a match. It wasn't bad. I mean, like they didn't give them necessary time, and they spent a lot of time trying to tell a story about Lana and Tamina that we still don't freaking understand. And I've determined that they're not gonna tell us the story.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna keep putting them out there and not telling us the story. We're gonna get to that later, though.
Yeah, we are.
But not a fan.
But I'm looking forward to Natalya versus Naomi.
I know that's gonna be good. Yeah. Apparently, they say they've never gone one-on-one or something like that. I guess they've been in the ring, like in tag matches or something like that, but they've never had a one-on-one match.
I have to fact check that though.
It seems kind of strange.
I know it seems like
I feel like Naomi's hit the rear view on Natalya before.
Yeah.
Like that ass has been in her face before. I don't know.
I know it for sure. It happened on Raw before.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe since the brand split, maybe not. But I still have to fact check that. But like,
maybe they're trying to bill it as like a first time meeting to give it a little extra, or maybe first time for a championship. We'll say that.
I mean, yeah,
because it is the first time for a championship because neither one of them were close to a title years ago.
I think they're close enough to actually gonna work on that match, and then when they present it to everybody, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna put together something great, man.
They give them time.
Yeah,
gotta give them time.
I think they should. I mean, like I said,
can't get into one of those. The thing about it is, like, we can't get into one of those things where they be like, "Hey, SummerSlam is gonna be an extra hour," and then you still run into crunch time and just throw them out there and say, "Okay, go ahead and have a match because we promoted it."
It's basically WrestleMania Part 2.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Hopefully, it doesn't come it doesn't get to that. Hopefully they can get that match in there early, so they can give them some time. And not to say they should cut time from somebody else, but hopefully they can get that match in there early to where, like, you know, they can go out there and have a good 15 minutes.
I would hope that it's not on the
match.
kickoff, but I hope it kicks off the official SummerSlam. Like maybe the first match of the SummerSlam pay-per-view, not the kickoff show.
And they deserve it. I mean, like, you know, I mean, like, titles. I don't believe titles should be defended on the kickoff show
at all. Ever.
Period.
Yeah.
If their titles down on the main show,
every title should, like I said, I think we're going until we got 3 weeks. Every title should be defended at SummerSlam because I mean, more than likely we can see the path of the U.S. title.
Yeah.
But it's kind of questionable what they're gonna do with the IC title now.
And the sidebar, they're saying, I don't know if you read this, and I did catch this, they're saying that Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate will be on SummerSlam.
Ooh.
A rematch for the title.
Brooklyn?
They're saying SummerSlam.
Wow.
Because that's going to be kind of like the
damn it,
the segue, because it doesn't look like this show is going to kick off ever. This UK show. It doesn't look like
I heard something about it on standby right now. But yeah, you're right.
So in the meantime,
somebody getting bumped on SummerSlam, and I'm not gonna be happy that they're not gonna.
It doesn't need to be the SmackDown.
They're not gonna bump the right person. I gotta tell you that right now.
Yeah. Next
thing you know, it's gonna be like, but WWE Championship, Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura on the kickoff show. I was playing. Anyway, moving on. What was the next match? Was it
that night was a blur.
Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin.
It was good until the end.
It wasn't better than what I saw on SmackDown. So
it was not better.
No,
it wasn't.
No.
It wasn't.
So
yeah, I definitely liked the physicality though. I definitely liked the physicality, but it wasn't as good as SmackDown's match that they produced.
Their chemistry is just not. I mean, not even just sit there and say what happened on SmackDown was great, but like their chemistry just don't match up to me well. Maybe I'm not putting that blame on Shinsuke or Baron. It just seemed like the match wasn't well put together. They had some strikes and counters and everything, but like there's a lot of sloppiness in between their exchanges with blows and everything like that. So I mean, but
there was like those little pauses, like, oh shit, I need to like kick you right now, or I need to
whip me to the
you.
rope.
Yeah, it was like those moments, but they kind of cleaned it up coming back into SmackDown.
Yeah,
it was much better.
They got much better and more interesting. But the match ended with a low blow, kick to the groin from Baron Corbin to Shinsuke Nakamura, ended in disqualification, of course. So.
I'm not a fan of pay-per-view finishes like
DQs.
That.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of countouts. I'm not a fan of DQs. I'm not a fan of like when you get to the pay-per-view, you want definitive victories. You don't want fluky shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want disqualification.
They go to is a DQ
and that's the problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wait for this pay-per-view. I wait to see this match, and then I get it. And that's what you go to. It's like it's almost a waste.
And then you get and you try to do it over again
the next night,
2 days later.
Yeah. I mean, like I don't want that. I mean, like if you're gonna give me a pay-per-view match, make sure that this pay-per-view match is like worth the price of admission. Like I feel like Philadelphia got dealt a shit hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like when I say shit hand, I mean like literally. Like you play spades, we play spades many times. It's like when you get dealt a hand. And you can only get one book. You got an ace of clubs, and then the rest of your hand is complete shit. And you don't have any. You have like one spade, and you can't throw it in because you got one spade, so you got to play it. That's how I felt watching Battleground. Like I could only get one book, and I had one spade. That probably wasn't gonna win the book, but I had to play through it anyway.
Yeah,
that's what Battleground did to me. And that one book was the New Day match. That was the one good thing that I got.
Because if we didn't have to report on it. And if y'all wasn't over here, I'd have been watching Game of Thrones.
And then, I mean, like I said, we were supposed to do a podcast on this pay-per-view.
Yeah, same night.
Same night. It was supposed to be already up. It was supposed to be out there already for the iHeart Wrestling page and for the wrestling world to hear and comment on. But a shit of a pay-per-view like that? No, thank you. I couldn't even give you a full pay-per-view on that crap.
Yeah.
A full podcast on that crap, rather.
Okay. Moving on, we had Sami Zayn. I know this ain't the same right order. Sami Zayn versus Mike Kanellis.
Truly upsetting.
Yeah.
Truly upsetting.
I have nothing else to say about that. It was just
Sami won. Sami picked up a victory. Yeah.
Once again, you went back to the point where you're right back where it started because you're exchanging victories.
Right.
Anyway, moving on to Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles for the United States Championship.
Great match until the ending.
Yep.
And the ending, like,
Once again, that was a call that was made at the last minute.
Yeah.
That's botched.
A fluky ending.
No Jericho that night, which, I mean,
we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Next we have, I'm sorry. Is it the Punjab?
That's the flag match.
Oh my God. I forgot about that bullshit. Flag match between John Cena, douchebag, and Rusev.
Hardest match I've ever had to watch.
Yes, it was.
Like,
yes, it was.
Oh my God.
I was here with you, my brother.
It just plodded and plodded along. It's like, can this thing be? I've never wanted a match to just end. Like, oh.
And they were just reaching for the flag and stepping up and stepping down.
It
slowly.
wasn't a ladder match.
You know how you go down? Who goes down steps? Like putting both feet on the same step before they go to the next step. That's how they were doing climbing up the apron. Climbing up the turnbuckle. They'll climb all the way up, they'll climb down 1 foot at a time.
Because they were so exhausted.
Yeah.
They had such a grueling match with each other. Like, stop.
We spent too much time on this.
Stop.
John,
horrible.
Douchebag won. Once again, burying, I'm going to say it, burying Rusev.
You brought him back for this? You brought him back for that?
Okay. And was he? Never mind, we'll talk about that.
We're going to get there.
And main event now, right?
Yep.
Punjabi prison match. Great Khali came, choked out Randy Orton. Jinder Mahal climbed over, he won.
Once again, more exhaustion. More exhaustion. So much exhaustion. In fact, the flag match took so much out of me, I didn't even have enough to watch the full Punjabi prison match. I went to sleep.
Yeah.
I said I didn't want to see this match, though.
Yeah.
But then to wake up towards the latter of the match, I saw the table bump.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's.
You know, I mean, like, but we get that every pay-per-view now.
They just fucking ragdoll.
Yeah,
can we get them in the ring to a tag match? Can we see them?
That would be nice.
I mean, not saying they have to win. I don't want them to win. Can we get them? Can Shane or Daniel Bryan say, since you guys like to be involved in everyone else's matches, we're gonna give y'all a match against the Ascension or something. You know, let the Ascension get out there and get over. I'm just saying, like, that would help the Ascension get over. Go out there and beat the shit out of the Singh brothers.
They're so one-dimensional. All they do is come out there and stand by Jinder and help him win. Put
their hand on their hip and nod. Yeah.
And then we got Great Khali.
Yeah. Great
Khali, EJ.
Yeah. Nope. Let it linger.
That's what they did to everybody.
And like, I mean, the music hit. I'm like, that's Jinder's music.
Yeah.
So who do they see? And they showed this big motherfucker stumbling down to the ring. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. Really?
You talk about icing on the cake? Icing on the shit cake. more shit on the icing on the shit cake.
Grades, man.
Oh,
great.
F.
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 I'm gonna be generous. F plus.
69.9.
That was hard. I mean,
get out of here.
That was a bad pay-per-view.
Out of here. It's like and the reason why I say it's an F is because like even that New Day match wasn't enough to pull up that pay-per-view.
That's why I'm saying, okay.
It just wasn't enough.
Like I said,
like you got like it's like you know, I teach school, so it's like you got some kids that'll like celebrate when they make like a 50 and they friend made like a 30. Damn it, it's still an F. You simple bastard. It's still an F. And that's what this feels like.
I say you simple bastard.
That's still an F. That's still an F. So I mean that's what you get. You get an F from me. Solid F. That was it was about a 40. I got a 40 on that test.
Oh, we doing number grades?
If I had to give a score, it was a 40. You got a 40.
I'm gonna be odd. They got a 61.
Because you started out answering the questions right. And then you kept turning pages and then something just kept getting harder. You're like, damn, I ain't remember none of this shit.
See.
Christmas tree. Down the fucking page. I'm telling you, that shit was terrible. Brian James. Yeah.
Hey, get Great Khali on the phone. Hey, did you make it down to Philadelphia? Oh, good. Yeah. Get down there. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Moving on, man. Let's get down.
That's over.
Let's get out of SmackDown, man. Quick hits.
All right.
We 40 minutes in already. We ain't got to SmackDown.
All right, let's go through it. All right. SmackDown took place this week live from Richmond, Virginia. The show kicked off with the new United States champion, the face of America, Kevin Owens, coming down to the ring to gloat about the fact that he beat AJ Styles, and he's once again the face of America. And he's better than everybody. AJ Styles comes down. He also says he wants to begin the United States Open Challenge again next week, which kind of shits on the fans there in Richmond. But then AJ Styles comes out and says that he wants to invoke his rematch, and that he should be next in line, and he doesn't want to wait. And then, triumphantly, biggest pop of the night.
Yes.
Like I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho returns
with no pyro.
It was weird. Returns, but he does have the list in tow. And he comes down to the ring and they exchange with each other. Kevin Owens is all shocked, like, what are you doing here? Why are you back? Then he tries to sneak out the ring, and AJ and Y2J have a really cool exchange. AJ gets put on the list, and because for trying to line jump Y2J, because he never got his rematch either for the United States title. AJ feels like he should get his before Y2J. And as Kevin Owens goes up the ramp, Shane McMahon comes down to the ramp and says that this match is too good to have at WrestleMania, too good to have at SummerSlam. We're going to have it right here tonight in Richmond. Triple threat, United States title match in a main event. Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. Next up, we got our rematch from Battle Shit. Baron Corbin versus Shinsuke Nakamura, which we saw Shinsuke pick up the victory. This match was really stiff. Like, I really felt like Shinsuke had malice in his heart. Like, you hit me in my balls, and I hate you for that. Like, it just seemed like every knee, every kick that he threw, he was trying to knock. He gave him a cigar kick, too. Like, straight in the face, like, straight up. Yeah, it's like he tried to knock his head off. Like, I was actually nervous for Corbin because I was like, a couple of times, like, he going to kill that man. Really good match, though. It was much better than the Battleground display that they gave us. Following that, we got Dasha Fuentes backstage with SmackDown's Women's Champion Naomi, and she was asked about how did she feel about Natalya being the #1 contender to face her at SummerSlam. And of course, Naomi feels like she can take on all comers. Natalya interrupts and basically says that she's making a mockery of the women's division and that title because of the fact that she's made it into like a toy. And Naomi says that, you know, this has been done over the years, you know, with different titles, and that she just put her own spin on the title, and that she has no disrespect to history or, you know, lineage of the title. It's just the fact that she brought her own personality to the title. And then Natalya walks off after she declares that she's going to take the title from her at SummerSlam. And then Carmella, Miss Money in the Bank, walks up behind her. She's wearing a Free Ellsworth shirt. Pretty cool. Free Ellsworth shirt that and lets her know that she's still watching. That segment ends, and then we go. We get a tag team match, a women's tag team match. We get Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch versus Lana and Tamina. Can't stop doing it now. In which we saw Charlotte hit a big boot on Lana, tried to kick her head off. 1, 2, 3. Lana takes the pinfall, loses the pinfall to Becky and Charlotte as they go up the ramp celebrating. They're like best buddies now. That's weird. And Tamina like stares at Lana like, what the hell are you doing? I don't like what the hell is going on. Like she looks at her like she wants to rip her head off, and then she tells Lana to get out the ring, and they walk up the ramp. Following that, SmackDown, well not SmackDown, but WWE champion, the modern day Maharaja, still WWE champion, Jinder Mahal, comes down to the ring and demands to know who his opponent for SummerSlam is going to be. And outcomes, you guessed it, John Cena, from one U.S. versus the foreigner storyline to another. We just jumped into the same storyline with someone different. Cena comes out and cuts a promo basically saying that I'm going to be Super Cena. I'm going to take the title from you at SummerSlam, blah, blah, blah. Daniel Bryan comes out on the ramp and says that, hey, even though your name is John Cena, you're going to have to earn this title shot. And next week, you're going to have a one-on-one match, #1 contendership. John Cena versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the first time ever. The fans go nuts for that. Following that, backstage, Kevin Owens is backstage with Shane McMahon, basically going off on him for making the match, basically saying, you don't like me, and you keep putting me in these situations, and that if you weren't the boss, I'd probably whoop your ass. Maybe we'll get a Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens match at SummerSlam. Who knows? I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Really?
I wouldn't. I mean, if that's going to give Kevin Owens something to do. Because we have to keep watching AJ and Kevin Owens is going to get stale real quick, just like Sammy and Kevin Owens did. They're going to be good matches, but it's going to get old really quick.
Yeah.
Moving on. We got a splice of 2 matches from Battleground. We got Ty Dillinger and Samuel Zayn versus Aiden English and Mike Kanellis. We actually saw Sami Zayn hit the haluva kick on Mike Kanellis and score another pinfall victory on Mike Kanellis. I announced last week on the show that Mike Kanellis was undefeated. Well, now he's 1-2.
Yikes.
On SmackDown.
That fast.
This is upset to me. But whatever. The match wasn't bad. We actually got that SmackDown commercial break split screen with this match this week. So I actually paid close attention to it. I wanted to watch it. I actually fast forwarded through that, and I said, let me go back. So I went back and watched the commercial break and just focused on the match in the ring, and it was a really good match back and forth. Aiden English looked really good. Mike Kanellis didn't look bad, but I'm pissed about what they're going with. I'm just gonna be honest about it. Following that, Richmond, VA.
What's going on?
What the hell happened? Microphone dropped. Budget cuts have arrived. The New Day gets sneak attack by the former SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, and they get dragged out onto the ramp, and they literally beat the hell out of the Usos. They even ran Kofi's head into the side of the screen, and it was just nasty. It was nasty.
Man.
He ate it. He ate that screen.
Yeah.
It was nasty. Like, you really thought, like arrest these men.
Yeah.
This is assault and battery. Beat the hell out of them.
Big E tried to come out there for the save, but no.
Three super kicks
in
the course of a minute, 30 seconds. He took one single, then he took a double.
Yeah.
3 super kicks knocked Big E out. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Way to continue the feud.
Yeah.
The biggest smile on my face.
You thought this was over? No, it ain't over.
No, it ain't over. It ain't over, EJ. It's not over. Following that backstage, we got Renee Young with Shinsuke Nakamura. And she asks Shinsuke about his match coming up next week versus John Cena. And Shinsuke says John Cena can't see him because he's not going to see him because he's going to see Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship. Is Shinsuke overlooking John Cena? And in our main event, we saw AJ Styles become the new two-time United States champion, defeating Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Post-match, Kevin Owens gets on the mic and says that he's going to evoke his rematch for next week. We don't have it confirmed from SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan or Commissioner Shane McMahon, but he said it, and that's how the show ended. So that was your SmackDown Live from Richmond, Virginia.
All righty.
Oh, GTS.
It's that time for our Smack Up, Smack Down, or Smack in the Face. Kicks off with J.Fields this week. So, J.Fields, what is your Smack Up?
It's a combination of the two because all of it was just so wonderful. It was the opening segment and the main event, the start and the finish to SmackDown Live. AJ Styles, Y2J, Chris Jericho, and the new face of America, Kevin Owens. Oh my God. Way to add another element to a story that I was already okay with. I was okay with AJ and Kevin. I really don't like this trading of the title. You know, you did it on a house show. It should mean something. You shouldn't just take it from them the first time they meet. But I was okay with it because it set up a really damn good promo, really entertaining promo. Chris Jericho was just so good. Don't really know what's going on with that hair though.
I dig it. He can pull it off.
Yeah, he can. I guess that hair was something else.
He had like a bonnet on.
Yeah, like a hair, like he had on like a hair band.
Yeah,
like I was like those things like we put on my daughter's head. Hair band.
Like I said, if anybody can pull it off, he can.
Hair band. Get it? See what I did there? Moving on. Really damn good promo. Put AJ on the list. I was just waiting for it. Just good stuff. He talked about punching a man in the face at the grocery store, put them in the walls of Jericho for line jumping. Like,
Yeah.
it's just funny. It's funny stuff. I dug it. And like the pop, I even rewound it because it's like, it just gives you chills.
Yeah.
When you can see the admiration and the love for somebody, like, how over are you?
That's how you feel when you get missed, John Cena.
Yeah, that's how it feels to come back and not be stale.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. And the match. Let's just skip to the main event. Oh my God. What a match.
Yes, it was.
What a match. Chris Jericho is ageless. He's ageless. That man can wrestle until he's 80.
You know, I just didn't like the crowd saying, you still got it. Like, no shit. He's the GOAT.
He had it 3 months ago. And he still has it now. Like, he's that damn good. Hall of Famer. First ballot.
Yes,
oh my God. Thank you. Thank you for that. That was good. And AJ won. And he didn't win. It wasn't like underhanded heel. It was just the fact that I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm gonna do the same thing that you would do, Kevin. I did what you would have done to me, but I did it to you first. Hot tag.
Hot tag. I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth, man. Like, the SmackDown kicked off the way it should have, because they had a lot of making up to do after Battle Shits. Yeah. So, had it kicked off, like you said, the surprise, then leading forward. I actually thought the main event, I thought he was going to announce that for SummerSlam.
Yeah, me too.
Like, we get the same night? I'm like, damn, because I'm already setting up. I said, man, SummerSlam will be nice. You know, August 19th, you know, it's going to be all right. It's going to come together. Fast forward, they made that shit that night. I mean, and then that, at the very end, that sequence. Like, I think Kevin Owens hit the bullfrog. I mean, no, the cannonball in the corner.
Yeah.
Got up. Jericho
did insecure on AJ.
Insecure on AJ. Then
Kevin hit the super kick
on Y2J. Then AJ hit the Pele kick. I mean,
it all three of them collapsed.
I said,
yeah.
I mean,
that was that moment. That was the moment.
I mean, like, it was everywhere, dude. Like,
and the admiration from the crowd. The crowd. Thank you, Richmond.
Yeah.
Thank you. You gave me energy.
Good crowd. Besides that, you still got a chance.
Yeah.
Y'all could have kept that one. But anyway, but I mean, I'm not going to even try to overshadow everything else. But yeah, everything about that match, everything about that moment was great. So, I mean, I commend SmackDown for making up for Battle Shits.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, can't speak highly enough on that shit because you already pretty much said everything. So, what goes up must come down, sir.
Indeed.
Time to make that turn. So, J.Fields, what was your SmackDown this week?
My SmackDowner this week, and we might be 3 for 3.
Oh, shit.
My SmackDowner this week was preferably the Lana and the Tamina. And the reason being, no hot tag?
No hot tag.
Okay. The reason being is because they have done a piss poor job of telling us why Tamina's even fooling around with Lana's loser ass. Why? Tamina, let's be honest.
Well, take that back. No, I'm not trying to defend. Your beef is Lana and Tamina?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It could kind of be a hot tag because it has something to do with them.
Okay.
So, but go ahead.
I'm going to get you in there then.
Okay.
I'm going to get you in there then. Teddy Long. We'll Teddy Long it. He'll come out and make a thing. We'll Teddy Long this thing. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of untold stories. Like, who is Tamina? First off, let me ask this question. Who in the hell is Tamina anyway to be trying to coach somebody else?
Yeah, y'all shared that.
Who is she? What has she done to validate her enough to say, you know what? I'm going to take you under my wing to make you better when you're not that good yourself. That's like Curtis Axel taking somebody under his wing, or Bo Dallas, third generation superstar, or Ted DiBiase Jr. taking somebody under their wing and saying, hey, you know what? I'm gonna make you into a star. I'm gonna help you figure out this losing thing. How, Sway? How, Sway? You can't, because you will lose it your damn self. How many matches have you won, Tamina? How many times have you been in a position to where, like, people actually took you as a serious threat? And then furthermore, what is it with WWE feeling like the only role they can use the bigger monster woman in the role is playing sidekick to somebody else. If you're a monster, be about your own shit.
But that's more on creative, not filling that void, just like you said. It's just like she's not talented enough to carry herself, so they pair her with someone, but at the same time, they pair her with the wrong people. Or they pair her in the wrong situation.
I don't even know what the story is, EJ.
I mean, neither. Nobody does.
Why did she all of a sudden start trying to protect Lana?
And they never interviewed her and asked what's up with this relationship. They never did anything. I mean,
this is what Talking Smack would have been good for.
Yeah.
But you canceled that. Budget cuts. I need a story here. So you're gonna keep having this happen, and for weeks and weeks on end, and you're not gonna tell me a story. Now it's starting
to crumble, and like we still don't know the explanation because like now they leading to the fact that now it's looking like it's gonna getting bad. Like
it's gonna explode now. Yeah. But what's about to explode? I need to know. And until I know, this is extremely upsetting to my life.
Okay.
I'll pause there.
Okay. Well,
Teddy Long, let's let Teddy Long make this. We'll let him make the match. We're back from commercial. It's going on now. You're already in the ring.
Yeah. My SmackDown is involving that, but it's the tag match period. Wasn't a bad match, but it's the fact of the matter. Like I'm getting tired of seeing Charlotte and Becky tag up every week. It seemed like them and Raw doing the same thing with Bayley and Sasha. Mm-hmm. Like they're always pairing them up, and you're pretty much setting up for somebody to turn on one another. Right. And like I said, you're doing the same thing because we already know everybody's looking into this possibly that Charlotte's going to be the one to turn on Becky, which I feel that is going to be Becky turn on Charlotte.
Me too.
But and then on Raw, it's already painting. I mean, they're not going to make Bayley turn on Sasha, so Sasha's going to turn on Bayley, especially what happened Monday.
Yeah.
So, but I just it just seems like every week we get a certain variation of Charlotte and Becky versus Natalya and Carmella, or Charlotte and Becky versus Tamina and Carmella, or it's like do something else, man. Like I just didn't need that. Like I said, I'm not taking away from the match. It wasn't a horrible match, but it wasn't nothing that got my attention. Like, man, that was a pretty decent match. That could be possibly be my smack up or my near fall smack up. Like,
it's two things to credit that to. One of them is the fact that your division is weak, extremely weak, and you don't have enough. You don't have a full division to where you can send two of them out there and they have a really good match.
So the thing
you got Natalya, you got Naomi, you got Charlotte, you got Becky. That's not enough to have a division.
But same time though, I take that what you're saying and everything, but like they were doing good with that. And they was doing good utilizing everybody, all the women, the 6 women they have, and making it interesting. But like they go to, just like I understand you said and you're gonna got everybody out there can go out there and mix up with everybody, but like it's just like tag match. SmackDown was doing good separating themselves from random ass tag matches for no reason, but like even though all this has to do with a story, that's the only thing I give credit for because all of us involved in the same thing.
They switch writers.
SmackDown, yeah,
that's why.
That's the main thing.
That's why they switch writers. You know I mean, there's not a creative bone in their body. And then the other part about it is that when Lana first showed up, and she hit the move, and then the first match with Naomi, okay, Lana, I see you. You've been putting in some work, but since then, she fine. I know that's your girl.
Yeah,
but man, she ain't got it. She ain't got it, brother. She does not have it. She gotta go back to the drawing board. They tried to they put her out there, and now it's sinking, and it's not sinking just because they having her take the L, but she not crisp in the ring. That match with Naomi, it went well. The first one.
You might can credit that to Naomi as well, too, though.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Since then, everything she's been a part of has been, even the multiple girl matches, it has not gone. It has not looked good.
That was hard to look at.
She missed spots. She missed kicks. She missed connecting on things. It's just like she look out of place right now. Her timing is off. Her rhythm is off.
They gotta get something going. I mean, like you said, they gotta get something right with that shit. But yeah, the writing's already on the wall. What they're gonna do with Becky and Charlotte teeing up. They all do the little T thing. But tagging up all the time. So I mean, they need to execute a little better. I mean, get Carmella involved. I mean, yeah, she's showing up the briefcase every week, but like, mix her in there somewhere. Like, cause I mean, it seemed like they're gonna try to turn Lana face. Cause I mean, I guess Tamina's still, mad at her or some shit. But like, the whole direction of everything that's going on is just bad. So
horrible.
Anyway, moving to something even more, I should say, fucked up, messed up, is our smack in the face. So, J.Fields, what smacked you in the face this week?
The fact that, and I'm just gonna skip the obvious. Yeah. The obvious. We're gonna skip that. I'm absolutely upset at the fact that you're only giving me 7 days. 7 days. No build, no rationale, no reason, no rhyme or reason for a Shinsuke Nakamura John Cena match
on SmackDown.
On SmackDown. So this is how you're going to determine who fights Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam? No.
And you have 3 weeks.
You got more than 3 weeks.
Yeah, you have more than 3 weeks.
Because you had more than 3 weeks.
Yeah, you could have included this week as one of the weeks.
Yeah, you could have used this week to set the whole thing up. And they didn't. They didn't. John Cena, because you won a match at a pay-per-view, that qualifies you for a title match? Oh, because you won your match. And because you won your match at the pay-per-view.
Sami Zayn won his match.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, hell, the New Day won their match. Yeah. If that's the case, take all the winners from Battleground and put them in there.
Battle Royal.
Not a Battle Royal. Not a Battle Royal. Find some way, like, hell, I mean, like, I put it like this. Like, other companies do things like they put titles on the line. They determine number one contenders in a multitude of ways. Like a 6-man tag. Whoever gets the pinfall is the number one contender.
Yeah,
You could have put the New Day, John Cena, Shinsuke, Sami Zayn. You could have put them all in there, mixed them all in there together, and had a 6-man and said whoever gets the pinfall wins the match. Not a 6-way match, not a fatal 5-way. You could have just had all the winners. And that's creative. Something different that you don't never do.
Can I take a credit spin of this?
Go ahead.
Let me try this. What if you say, like, if you wanted to go the triple threat or the fatal 4-way route, if you want to go down that route, put Shinsuke Nakamura, Baron Corbin, and somebody else on the team. If your team wins, y'all automatically go to the 3 competitors go to SummerSlam and face Jinder Mahal in 4-way.
Or you have a triple threat next week, maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Make them work together. You know what I'm saying? To say, okay, I want a title shot. We don't like each other, but like we gotta win. We gotta coexist. I mean, something interesting is like,
that's
damn,
awesome.
You never thought of Baron Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura pairing up, or Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens teamed up, but they both on the same page because they both want the opportunity to fight for the title.
Or AJ and the New Day.
Yeah, anything. You know what I'm saying? So if AJ and the New Day win, AJ, Kofi, Big E, they go on to SummerSlam to be in the 4-way, something like that. Yeah. So you making things interesting. But at the same time, it'd been good if like got a face and a heel on the same team because like they don't supposed to like each other, but hey, they gotta coexist.
That's how it used to work back in the day.
Yeah, okay,
they weren't afraid to try it back in the day.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like, Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold were tag team champions.
Yeah.
John Cena and Shawn Michaels were tag team champions. They've done it before.
But that's why we don't have the same writer.
I mean, where was Chad Gable? Where was Luke Harper? I mean, like, we're only including the people that we actually saw last night. Yeah. But there are other people that you could have mixed in there to figure out who was gonna be the damn you could have had a gauntlet match.
Anything. But just
anything other than because you won and because you're John Cena. You basically say, well, I don't just give out opportunities, but hell, you just gave him one. How are you gonna say, well, I don't just give people title shots, but you're giving him an opportunity for a title shot and he ain't done nothing to earn it? Because he put a flag in a fucking hole.
You make it sound so simple.
That shit wasn't. It wasn't simple.
It wasn't.
That was the hardest shit ever.
The struggle.
It was a struggle for me to watch it.
Yeah,
I felt like I had been in the damn match by the time it was over.
I was very frustrated.
I felt like I needed a damn ice bath. Like I needed to go to the trainer's room. It was that hard to watch. I was hurting after the match.
Terrible. Just terrible.
And if you let John Cena be the one to beat Shinsuke Nakamura, oh my God.
On SmackDown.
On SmackDown. With no storyline.
I mean, that's just my problem though. Like I turned from that segment. Once he came out, I couldn't do it. So I told somebody, let me know when it's over. But once I started hearing people say, thank God Daniel Bryan got backbone, I said, let me see what's going on. So I flipped back. And you know what I'm saying? I caught the gist of what was going on. He pretty much said, I'm not going to give up opportunity, like you said, and basically gave him opportunity. I mean, not saying you're going to give her opportunity, but you can't just come out there and make a match as I do. But anyway, it's the fact of the matter, like, yeah, you just want a flag match. Other people want matches as well. Other people have competed in Battle Royals. Other people have competed for #1 contenderships in triple threats or fatal five-ways. While your ass been gone since WrestleMania, you come straight through the door and get a feud with Rusev, win, shoot straight to the top. Like it ain't shit.
And let's be honest about it. You talk about Daniel Bryan. Somebody said, Daniel Bryan, thank you for having a backbone. Where the hell was this backbone at Royal Rumble when Cena came back and got a title shot handed to him from AJ Styles? Like your shit ain't cohesive. Your storyline not cohesive. Because if that's the case, if you really out here running the show, Daniel Bryan, now I'm getting mad at him.
We got different writers. I'm gonna keep saying that shit now.
There you are.
Because when he came back, it was around January.
Yeah.
Yeah. Motherfucker. Anyway, but yeah, that was all bad, man.
Really bad.
And that was
didn't like the promo either.
No, I didn't really get to see it.
It was
I didn't like Jinder Mahal part at all. Anyway,
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like you basically both of them are just in the same storyline that they just got out of with two other people, but now we're gonna do the same thing together. If he wins, if Cena wins, it's gonna be the exact same thing, and it's just gonna be more America based. It's gonna be more Marine based. It's gonna be more I'm fighting for the country, and I'm gonna drape myself in Old Glory, and you know the red, white, and blue, and the stars and stripes, and give me a fucking break from this. That's what I need. This is why Baron Corbin should be involved in this matter somehow.
If you would even just came out and said, I still need, just because I have a briefcase, that doesn't mean I can't compete to be a #1 contender.
Right.
Do something. If they were to do something different like that, let Baron Corbin win, get that #1 contendership, lose, then take out his anger, frustration, then cash in and win.
Oh my God.
Different. You know what I'm saying?
They need us. They need us.
Do something
Road
different.
Dogg. Road Dogg. Man. You need us.
I'm just saying. It's so.
Hire me, Road Dogg.
My brain spins when they do something stupid all the time. I'm like, man, you could have did this. You could have did that.
Hashtag hire GTS.
Book it.
Book it.
And that's how we will end the SmackDown review.
Damn it.
Let's get into some near falls, man.
Okay.
It has. I mean, it's automatically. I think it's
plenty
unanimous.
of them.
I think it's unanimous to smack up near fall.
Oh, the Usos.
Yes.
New Day. The beatdown.
That was crazy.
It was great. I would say near SmackDowner. I don't want to take up a lot of time, but this Mike Kanellis thing is eating at me. It's bothering me because you put a talent like him in this nowhere storyline. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, the goal is wrestling.
Yeah.
This other shit don't really. The other shit's supposed to be enhancement of the wrestler. It's not supposed to be the character above the wrestling. It's supposed to be the wrestling enhanced by the character.
Featuring the character, yeah.
He's supposed to be driven to win, driven by victories, driven to be champion. Any champion, U.S. champion, Intercontinental champion, UK champion, whatever champion, driven for that. I mean, like, if you ever go back and watch his stuff in TNA, he was determined. He didn't get the title, but he was determined to be world champion. He maneuvered and manipulated the situation to be world champion. Mm-hmm. He had his muscle. He had Moose at one point as his muscle to help him win matches and do things. Maria helped him win matches. Maria is a really good heel. Mm-hmm. But you wasted it with this power love thing.
And you know what, dude? Like, from what you tell me and from what I heard, I know what I know what potential he has. But to be honest, I'm just from a WWE fan, I don't see it. And that's basically not saying like, right. You know, because I don't want to see it. I heard what you, Miller, everybody else say about Mike Bennett. So it's just the fact that, but what I've seen from him so far, I don't see what the big deal is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that to be like a strictly WWE fan. I'm just saying like what they showing on TV. I don't see why are we giving this guy some time. And it's like this is a waste of talent.
Right.
But like I said, the potential, which I know, because like I said, y'all want to steer me in the wrong direction. I know he's a good talent.
Yeah.
But WWE is doing a horrible job displaying that and doing a horrible job of making people interested in what he may possibly can be. Because right now, I'm already turned off once they come out. Like, I'm more looking forward to seeing Maria now because, I mean, like, that's it. But, like, even she's associated with him. So it's like, this is a waste of a segment because it's not going anywhere. It's going traded victories and tag matches with, I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
And you got to think about it. You build yourself, before they came to WWE, she builds herself as the first lady of professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hell of a title.
Yeah.
I mean, that puts you on the line like Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm. I guess.
When you say that, first lady of professional wrestling, like that moves you beyond, as far as like managers, as far as like women managers, that moves you beyond everybody. That puts you on the same line as Elizabeth. And we know what Elizabeth was to Savage. Through the WWE years, even the WCW years, that's a whole nother line. That puts you on a whole nother upper echelon of woman manager.
Mm-hmm.
And to see them in this role that you know is not going to develop anything. Like Power of Love ain't gonna headline WrestleMania.
Right.
Power of Love not gonna headline Night of Champions. Power of Love might get a US title. They got to make some tweaks with this. They got to make some shifts in it. I mean, like, they can keep the Power of Love, like, oh, we so in love, but that can't be the only thing that they do.
Show why this motherfucker got signed. That's all my whole thing. Show the talent.
It's almost like, and like now I'm pissed because like when I heard like, oh, he's gonna skip NXT and come right to the main roster, I'm like, this shit's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I heard he wasn't going back to TNA, I'm like, man, like they need to get him. Mm-hmm. He's gonna be dope. And now he's here. And I love the theme song, and I like seeing them, but the end result is the deflator.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, NXT would have been better for him.
I agree.
Ring of Honor would have been better for him.
Been a way better run probably in NXT because, like I said, they would have constantly thrown him out there. He would beat somebody, celebrate it, and they would have kept building him up, being parallel. Somebody got tired of it. Just like they could have dealt with Sami Zayn.
Right.
He never touched Sami Zayn until Battlegrounds. I mean, what was that? Money in the Bank when he made his debut?
Yeah.
If they would have had him come out there just constantly beating other people, and then Sami Zayn happened to run to him like that, then they followed Battleground, made more sense. But you had these interactions with Sami Zayn and Sami Zayn only your first match against Sami Zayn. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just bad. I mean,
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Because that leads right into where we need to go for this GTW.
Well, before we get to GW, it's gonna be very quick. But my SmackDown this week, my potential SmackDown, which is Monday or Fall, was no fashion file explanation. We still don't know who attacked the fashion police.
They don't tell the fucking story, EJ. They make you wait for it.
They just left it like to be continued, and now we have to wait another week.
And we might not get it then either.
But anyway.
Where's Chad Gable?
He was on Smack Talking.
Oh, I didn't see it.
I saw it.
I don't have talent.
Like 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Quick rundown of it. Daniel Bryan and Renee Young. First guest was Chad Gable. Daniel Bryan told Chad Gable he's his dad. He had a paternity test result, and he said, "I'm your father." Blah blah blah. And Chad Gable was like, "Dude, you're 4 years older than me." And then it was kind of funny. I kind of butchered it, but like it was like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So it was like it was over with before I even get it actually.
So they're not gonna use that for storylines, though.
No.
It's just something
extra
like
to do.
That's what I'm saying. It's like some sidebar stuff, like the thing, like like Mike Ross and the club.
Yeah,
it's like that, like stuff that won't make it onto the main show. Right. It's stuff they do behind the scene.
Also, would it be, if Nia joined the club or something like not saying join the club, but like be involved with the Revival.
They need to hire. You mean Gallows and Anderson?
What did I say?
Revival.
I did say Revival. I'm sorry. Yeah. That'd be kind of dope.
That would be dope. That'd be real dope.
Because there's no female member of the Bullet Club, is it?
Whatchamacallit has an escort. Oh, what's his name? It's gonna hit me in a minute. It's not gonna come to me right now. I know it's not.
Which promotion?
New Japan.
Okay.
New Japan. One of the Japanese stars, one of the lower level Bullet Club members, has a woman that scores.
She rocks a Bullet Club shirt too.
She rocks like a phone.
Nice.
And like a cutoff T-shirt. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. GTW.
Let's go.
All right, guys, talk wrestling. So to segue back, we're talking about how you would have booked Mike Kanellis.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads me to talk about the detriment that is the brand split.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does not allow people to be booked to be successful, basically. Because with it only being a week in between time and the pay-per-views come back so quick, like with there being a limited amount of talent, there's not enough people to put other people, the people that you want to get over, it's not enough people to get them over with. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what limits the brand split. For example, if Mike Kanellis had the benefit of leading up to his match with Sami Zayn, his debut match, an opportunity to beat, say, Sin Cara, if Sin Cara was on SmackDown, or Kalisto, or Apollo Crews, go out and have a really good match, win those matches, it leads up to, and still interacting with Sami, but it, they have a brawl, they have a fight, Sami gets the upper hand one time, Mike gets the upper hand, backstage interaction, Maria involved, all leads up to the match. If they could spend a little more time doing that, as opposed to the only person that you can, if you in a feud with this person, this is the only person you can interact with. Mm-hmm. And you see and recycle stuff every week. For example, look back to the Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke Nakamura booking. Mm-hmm. Every week, it was the same exact thing. Put them in the ring together. Okay, now put them backstage together. Same thing with Corbin and Shinsuke. Put them in the ring together. Corbin jumps him this week. Corbin jumps him next week. But this time, we're going to let Shinsuke fight back. It's the same thing every week. When you could have been allowing Baron Corbin to go out to the ring and destroy somebody as your Money in the Bank to lead up to this match to Shinsuke, they feel like, well, since we're in a program together, you're the only person I can interact with.
Yeah.
And that's for 4 weeks at a time. This is all we can get. We can't give you a match against nobody else because you're in a promo with this guy. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts?
Same thing. I mean, I agree 100% with you. Like, they book themselves in the corner, as you would say all the time, because, you get the same variation every week. One-on-one, disqualification, backstage, mix it up with a tag match with the same people involved in the same situation. And, like, just like that video I tagged you in Sunday about the Kurt Angle.
I watched it.
Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. Mm-hmm. Like, they mixed it up with a lot of people. Mm-hmm. They was tag champions, but they still had single matches, but they hated each other. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it all came full circle when they had to face each other. You know what I'm saying? Things like that, like, just like you said, you made a perfect example of saying Baron Corbin. He could have been out there just beating up anybody. Right. And maybe, as far as going back to Mike Kanellis could have had a few, not saying a few, but like, go out there and fight Breezango one day. Fight Tyler Breeze. Give Tyler Breeze that one-on-one match. Could have been a great match. Yeah. I know they're going to probably give him like 5 to 10 minutes maybe to the max on SmackDown. Right. But they could have put on a good match. Mm-hmm. And then could have put Mike Kanellis over. Because right now, Tyler Breeze's strong point right now is being a tag team. Right. So it would have been understandable if he took that L to Mike Kanellis. Could have fought Fandango the next week. You know what I'm saying? It's just, just constantly building up wins. So when he got that first win against Sami Zayn, it would have meant something. And Sami Zayn, it wouldn't look so bad, for Sami Zayn. You're a veteran. You've been here. You know how it goes. So, I agree with your point about, like, how, the brand split is, it's not giving people opportunities to mix it up with certain people all the time. Seeing the same matches every week. But, like, also the brand split affects the fact that, you're forced into having these quote-unquote dream matches early, prematurely, before a good build is being developed. And, like, perfect example, which we already talked about, Shinsuke Nakamura versus John Cena. Right. If this is your quote-unquote dream match, why are you giving it away for free? Yeah. Why are you giving it to us on SmackDown? Yeah, it's going to get that time. Y'all will probably have about 3 different commercial breaks next week. It's going to probably start off at, like, 8:25 or some shit, you know what I'm saying, and close the show off. But, like, it's the fact of the matter is, like, why are we getting this now? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You had some, just like, thank God, I'm just happy that we're not getting AJ versus Nakamura on SmackDown. That could be something, that should be WrestleMania or nothing else.
Right.
Point blank. So it's the fact that like you said, like we getting all these type of matches every week. People it's just like you said, I get tired of seeing the tag matches, which we brought about Becky and Charlotte. Like you have y'all locked into a story mode, but like they can't interact with nobody else just because they're locked in with one person. And like that's a problem on both brands that they have a problem with throughout the whole promotion. The only people that don't do it like that, which we always go to, is NXT.
Yeah.
NXT would have a random match, Oney Lorcan versus Almas or Aleister Black, just going against Bobby Fish, and it's like random things, and like it works.
And it's just entertaining as hell.
Entertains them all, and like why? We constantly say
it just doesn't come up to the main roster. I mean, like you could have put Victor in the ring with Sami Zayn. I mean, like Victor's capable of having a match.
Yeah.
I mean, like you have wrestlers, so why not put them in a position to where like, okay, so we're not gonna really just do a whole lot with the Ascension right now. Okay, they're lower tier wrestlers in as far as the company told the line or whatever, but we'll put you out there.
Yeah.
Why come I can't see Kalisto versus Samoa Joe? Why come I can't see those matches? Because of the fact that, like, okay, your only interaction doesn't have to be with the person that you're feuding with. Like, there are plenty of other people. You got a whole company from top to bottom of wrestlers that you sign, that you pay.
Right.
Why not put them in position? And Chad Gable, same thing. I mean, like, Chad Gable hasn't necessarily gotten over. You could have put him out there with Mike Bennett and produced a really good match, and like I said, but had Mike Bennett go over.
And the point is that Mike Kanellis, Mike Bennett, whatever you want to call him, has a valet. He has Maria. So Maria could even play the factor to not even make the face look so bad. Like, you just lost him straight up. Yeah. She could have distracted him. I mean, something like that, to the fact that, like, dang, I can't believe he just beat Chad Gable. I just can't believe he beat Sami Zayn. Yeah. Like, use that to your advantage. Don't have somebody just going over clean with no kind of build and expect us to sit on there. And like I said, it's the fact that you give us these matches, you're going to have to go to the well once again later on down the line. We're not going to care about it. You already gave it to us.
And then plus on top of that, let's be honest. For a fact. And it's not even that deep down in your heart. But that Aiden English is not about to be a champion.
At all.
At all.
Neither. No time.
You know it.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you give him a victory over somebody that has the potential?
That has the crowd.
That has the crowd that's over as hell. Why would you give him a victory over Ty Dillinger?
At a pay-per-view.
When Ty Dillinger ain't even been on the damn TV. The man was he was the last three in the Battle Royal for the United States title. And then he can't win a match against Aiden English? And you expect me to buy that?
No thanks.
No, I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it.
No, I mean, that's a perfect example, man. It's just like, I just don't get why they constantly do this. I mean, we every week we're questioning, like, they get it right one day and they simply do not. And like I said, it's just not our problem. That's the thing. We bitch and moan about how SmackDown is going. Raw has the same situation. Yeah. They just have a longer time period to deal with. Yeah. They have really the worst excuse for this plan because you have 3 hours.
Yeah.
And they still can get it right. We have our little lousy 2 hours. We can't get it right. But yet, once again, NXT, 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
No complaints. I can't recall the last time I watched the NXT said, that was a horrible NXT. It may not have been a great one.
Yeah.
It may not have been like something that's blowing mind, like we get on the group and say, hey, NXT was dope this week. But it hasn't been one to the point, man, I'm disgusted with NXT. Like,
and the crazy part about it is that, okay, perfect example. It's funny you mentioned it. Like NXT last week had so much on it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some of everybody. I saw Almas. I saw Heavy Machinery. I saw Oney Lorcan. Like, I saw matches I didn't even know I was going to get. I got.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is great. This is a good hour that I just spent.
Right.
And like, I watch so much independent wrestling to where, like, even matches that I'm not like when I look at the card of a Progress show before I click it to watch it, or before I watch it or look at a Rev Pro or a New Japan, and they got the card set up on what's going on. I get certain matches that I'm like, I don't really care about this.
Mm-hmm.
But I watch them anyway. And I'm like, damn, this shit was great. Like, in the opening match, You get matches that like you like, oh my God, that shit was amazing. And the only thing that I can think of that's under the WWE umbrella that from top to bottom you get from the opening match to the ending match that you get that type of feeling from is Takeover and the weekly show, but especially Takeover. I can't say there has been weak points in any Takeover I've watched.
No.
In regards to who's the NXT champion, regardless of who's the women NXT champion, regardless of who's the NXT tag team champion.
They find a way.
They find a way to make that from top to bottom entertaining and interesting as hell from the beginning of the match, from the beginning of the card to the end of the card.
And even sometimes on not SmackDown, on NXT, they close with a promo. And you're completely satisfied with it closing with a promo. Yeah. Because it's booked the right way. It ends with somebody in a suit talking and somebody come out there and interrupt it. And you enjoy it. You're not sitting there saying, damn, I wish I would have chosen something else sometime. You know, like I said, it's never, I can't recall a horrible NXT show. But yet, I can sit there and give you many examples of a horrible Raw or a horrible SmackDown, which me, you, Sterling, and Miller can do. You know what I'm saying? So it's the fact that, like, once again, I keep saying this, and I know people get tired of saying this. Why can your quote-unquote development show get it right and y'all can't?
And y'all doing it, and they doing it with people that we ain't never heard of before.
And they doing it with the same people they once had, y'all have now.
Yeah.
Why you can't keep the flame going?
They doing it with people we ain't never heard of before. I ain't know nothing about no damn Authors of Pain.
Nope.
I ain't know nothing about no Heavy Machinery.
Nope.
Before they showed up. I don't know anything about the Velveteen Dream.
I mean, I'm gonna sit there and say I didn't know nothing about Ruby Riott. When she showed up, I was like, it's weird.
Didn't know nothing about her either.
Now she fits
Peyton Royce, Billy Kay. I don't know them. I went up on them before they showed up. And you mix them in there with the Bobby Roodes, the Eric Youngs. I don't know anything about it. Alexander Wolf. I ain't know nothing about him before he showed up. I know about Killian Dane. I know about Drew McIntyre. I didn't really know about Almas before he showed up.
Right.
But look at him. I knew about Tommy Ian. Aleister Black, I knew about him. But I mean, like, you mix unknowns in with a crop of known talent, and everybody gets elevated.
Yep.
Everybody.
Everybody eat.
Everybody at the table. WWE, we just got to make sure Roman. We got to make sure Roman's good. We got to make sure Cena's good. Oh, Orton, you took an elbow to the head. We got now. You're Cena now. You're out. You got to protect you too. We're gonna slowly move you into the Cena schedule.
And no offense, but once again, New Day just came off a long reign tag team championship. They get a tag team right back. I mean, get the championship right back. You got other people just sitting there suffering, sitting on the bench. And not sitting there taking away from New Day. Yeah. I mean, I love me some New Day, but yet the opportunity you could have gave it to somebody else, and New Day could have got it later on.
You had a whole bunch of different tag team champions back in the day. I mean, like Paul London and Brian Kendrick. I mean, Eminem.
Yep.
I mean, you had different tag teams, the Hardys. You had different people mixed in. It wasn't just the same tag team for just over and over again. Yeah. And you got talent. That's the thing. Like, it'd be different if we were like, man, this tag team division is terrible. Yeah. All we got is the primetime players, or, you know, if that's all we had, I would understand. Yeah. If all we had, you know, was that, I'd be okay. I mean, like with the New Day running the show. But you got really strong everything, and yet you use the go-to. What's the go-to today? Well, we got John Cena, and people are going to watch because John Cena's here. People are going to make a lot of noise when John Cena comes out, regardless of what he says, regardless of how many times he said it. They're going to make noise when he comes out. Roman Reigns is going to come out and cut a really bad promo. And but people are going to make noise before he even says a word. And that's what we want.
That's what we want. It's a reaction.
Yeah. We don't want to give you, like I said last week, we don't want to give you the best 3 hours, the best 2 hours we can possibly give you. We just we're going to give you 3 hours. Yeah. And you have to like it. Because you're a fan. You're going to be with it.
You may get a sprinkle of something you like, but like it's more about what we like. So, just deal with it. Yeah.
And I mean, like, whose hand are they rubbing? I mean, like, who's getting paid under the table? I mean, like, why is there so much loyalty to that? Why is there so much loyalty to John Cena? Why is there so much loyalty to Randy Orton? Why is there so much loyalty to Roman Reigns?
So much loyalty and commitment, because that's their first priority. Like,
if they selling merchandise, they can lose and still sell merch. If they, on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, they don't have to be winning. They don't have to be your champion for them to still do that. If they a part of your Be a Star campaign, if they doing your breast cancer awareness in October, if they doing your Connor's cure, whatever, okay, that's great. But they ain't got to win every night.
Nope.
They don't have to go out on top with their hand raised every night. It was many nights that Daniel Bryan didn't go out on top. It was many nights that Stone Cold didn't go out on top. And the nights that he did go out on top, Stone Cold stunning everybody, we were great for it. But it was nice that The Rock bottomed his ass. It was nice that Undertaker chokeslammed his ass. It was nice that the corporation beat the hell out of him and left him laying.
Yeah, it never got repetitive to the fact that like, okay, let me get something different. Yeah, you have certain characters and you sit there and say, okay, switch it up, and they did. You know what I'm saying? But saying right now you have so much force, and like we have to make sure this person gets exposed every week. We have to make sure Roman's on Raw every Monday. We have to make sure since Cena's back, he's involved in the big picture right now. Right. You can't push him to the side and let him face Chad Gable or something like that. Let Chad Gable prove himself. Anything. He can't do anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
What's the commitment for?
I don't get it.
I mean,
I told you somebody got some pictures of Vince McMahon on their phone and they just saying, hey, you want these shots to hit the net? Better get my push.
Like I mean, it's clearly it's got to be some blackmail or something going on because I don't understand. You got a whole company full of wrestlers. And you just gonna milk this, you just gonna milk it until you can't milk it no more. Like, no company has been able to survive that way. Nobody stayed on top that long. I mean, I spoke earlier about Jerry Lawler running the Memphis territory and how he was on top for so many years, but it ran dry every now and then. He wasn't able to keep it going. I mean, like, there's no territory here in this area. In the Memphis area, from Mississippi to Memphis, there's no wrestling territory. They're up in Tennessee, a little bit further up in Tennessee. There's some stuff going on, but there ain't consistent wrestling here. We don't have those shows like a Chicago or like a Seattle or, you know, a Baltimore. We don't have a consistent promotion that we can just go to and support.
Right.
It's the same thing. You can't just book the same thing over and over again and expect people to support it. It ain't even been that many ROH champions. All your talent in ROH ain't been the champion.
Right.
But they take chances on people. You take Jay Briscoe out of a tag team. 2-time ROH champion. First man to do it. Adam Cole. 3-time. Never been done ever by anybody else in ROH. 3-time ROH champion. Jay Lethal. One of the longest reigning ROH champions. You take chances. And all these people that I've named are different wrestlers. They're not all the same. They're not all face. Some of them have been heels. Some of them have been both sides of it. Tweeners. Some have been tweeners. Some of them played both sides at different points of their careers. And you build around it. Like, this is not the 80s where you just go to Hogan. Hogan, go out there and do your stick. Yeah. And we're going to run that.
Eat your prayers. I say eat your prayers. Say your prayers and eat your vitamins.
Yeah. I mean, like.
But they took a chance on gender.
That's what I'm, well, I mean, if that's what we're going to call. But, I mean, all you did was recycle something that you had already been doing. You took a storyline from the 80s that you did with the Sheik and Hogan, and you just recycled it. We've seen the giant and the smaller man. We've seen all this before. We've seen the bullying. We've seen it all. Like, there are other stories to be told. It's like kind of like in hip hop, where like you don't want to always listen to music that's talking about the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you want the change up. And WWE to me is like the commercial version of hip hop, where every story is the exact same. It's the same thing across the board. And in order to be satisfied, you got to go out and find those indie artists, those underground artists, those not so big artists that you can be like, man, this dude over here, he killing. This dude over here, bomb. Like the Kendrick Lamar's and J. Cole's. You got to go over here and get with them, because when you turn on the WWE is the radio. Mm-hmm. WWE is the equivalent of like commercial radio, where you're gonna hear the same set of songs over and over again, and none of those guys that's on the rise, none of those guys that's out here doing it are getting the shine. So you have to get on your Spotify, get on your Tidal, and start searching people out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what it feels like. WWE is like radio. And I don't listen to the radio.
I don't either. But like, to make things simple right now, first things first, I'm gonna do some long-term booking right now. Shinsuke need to win next week. Shinsuke need to
better win.
And look, I know sometime within this year, Baron Corbin needs to cash in and be WWE champion. But I'm just thinking my selfish reason. Shinsuke needs to hold on that title for WrestleMania. Face AJ for the title at WrestleMania. Somehow keep him and AJ away from each other. And like my fear right now is that after SummerSlam, they're gonna try to move AJ to Raw.
Yeah. Oh no.
That's my fear. And they're gonna try to do something. I mean, I don't even want that's a whole other podcast. I definitely Miller, Stir, if y'all listen to this, we're gonna set a date. We're gonna dissect this potential shakeup again and work out some kind of trades and potential things that will work.
A shakeup is not the answer.
No, it's definitely not the answer. I mean, you just did it.
They didn't even when they did the brand split, they didn't do all the necessary things. They had to go and pull people out in NXT to make it matter.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Bayley wasn't a part of the draft.
She came up before.
She came up after.
She came up
in August.
No, she came at Battlegrounds last year. She teamed up with Sasha.
She did.
Yeah, she teamed up with Sasha at Battlegrounds. The Battlegrounds was the last joint pay-per-view they had.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
and then
right.
SummerSlam, then came into
Right.
But yeah, I mean, still they had to grab.
Samoa Joe wasn't a part of the draft.
Nope, he came early this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, just like.
I mean.
Yeah, I mean,
the revival.
I agree. I mean,
Shinsuke.
They shouldn't be a part of the shakeup.
Yeah,
I mean, the shakeup shouldn't be a factor. Like, play the cards you dealt. Sorry, you did the shakeup. What, 2 months ago?
And the thing about it is, you don't need a big shakeup to mix things up. You could have, like for instance, and this just is out there, I guess you could say. Say for instance, you wanted to get the club back with AJ.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could have the club have a storyline to where like they're requesting their release from Raw from Kurt Angle.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying they want to go to SmackDown. And Raw grants the club their release and they come over to SmackDown. You could do stuff like that without having to promote or invade it.
Yeah.
Just invade it. Honestly, it shouldn't be like, oh, you're not allowed to wrestle anybody from Raw anyway. They should really have more joint shows anyway. It should be more than just SummerSlam. Really, to be honest, they could get rid of having these double pay-per-views a month and just have one pay-per-view a month and just let people interact with each other backstage. They could build storylines. You never know. You might be able to catch lightning in the bottle by just having other wrestlers around other people. As opposed to saying, well, like, no, SmackDown over here, Raw you over here. When they did it before, it wasn't that bad. But some of them drafts, even in the past, weren't that good.
No, there wasn't. I mean, you can easily look back on the network and see. I mean, but at the same time, you saw. I mean, the writing was better back then. You know what I'm saying? And it balanced out. I mean, SmackDown was always, I think even back then, SmackDown was like the lead runner right now, best writing. Yeah. But Raw wasn't bad. It just put on a better show, I guess you could say.
And it focused around the Roman Reigns, John Cena types. Mm-hmm. It focused on Triple H. Triple H was like the Raw guy.
Yeah.
Everything focused around Triple H and Evolution and all of that.
Batista and
all of them. And Orton and Benoit and all them. But then you look on the SmackDown
that's what I meant to say. Batista and Edge was on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And Rey Mysterio, Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it wasn't a necessary the guy on the SmackDown brand. That was your opportunity to elevate other people. If you think about it, Edge would have never become world champion had it been for the brand split. It benefits some people. Edge probably wouldn't have been a world champion had it not been for the brand split. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Eddie Guerrero would have never got over the hump had it not been for the brand split. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys didn't win Royal Rumbles right off the top. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Guerrero never won a Royal Rumble.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he was able to find a way to become world champion. JBL, same thing. He probably would have never been a world champion had it not been for the brand split. So it benefits people when you use it right. But the way that they're using it now, it's not benefiting anybody.
Nope.
Because you're still going to the same people rather than building new stars with the separation.
And you're doing the same feuds. Like
John Cena's going to be a 17-time champion if we're not careful. Randy Orton has gotten a title run. John Cena has gotten a title run since we've done this.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we giving them title runs when you did a brand split? They've already had multiple runs. This is your opportunity to make new champions, to make new stars, and you wasted it. Yeah. That's all I got. What's the time?
99 minutes.
99 minutes. We 2 minutes over last.
We're gonna do a fucking Marvel movie.
I know. We'll stop there.
Yeah.
I'm just agitated, man.
That's cool. Yeah. Smack the table. That will do it for our podcast this week. Check out 1515. Now, for other podcasts such as RBU is up right now. GTS, of course. MWT, Lace Them Up, Equal Opposite, The Rundown, and Studio Flow. And click on the Amazon link to support the site. And go to the GTS page on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. And that's it.
If you're a wrestling fan, type in I Heart, the word heart, I Heart Wrestling.
On the Facebook page, yeah.
Join the I Heart Wrestling page. Come talk wrestling with us if you care like we do.
Yeah.
If you disagree, agree, come talk with us. We love to have you.
Yeah, and insert questions you have about the show or things you want to talk about the show. You know, interact, get involved, subscribe, and all that other type of stuff. But yeah, 100 minutes in. If there's nothing else, this is your boy EJ the King.
It's your guy J.Fields.
And we are out this bitch.
Holla, 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 holla.